Good morning, everyone. Here's your weather hazard briefing for Monday, July 19th. We are in the midst of our increasing monsoon push today and tomorrow. That means showers and thunderstorms will be increasing, and the actual chance of seeing some decent rainfall is on the increase as well. The best chance of storms will be area-wide will be today and Tuesday, and starting to taper off towards the end of the week. It looks like, especially tomorrow, we will have an isolated potential for some flash flooding or debris flows across the area, depending on where you are, especially in the mountains. Temperatures will be cooling off. That means some of these streaks of 90 or more degrees or higher these consecutive days in a row, some of these streaks may be coming in to end the next couple of days. Now, because of all the thunderstorms we're having, even with the increasing potential for rain, we do have some critical fire conditions today and tomorrow across the area. Initially, our thunderstorms will be a mix of wet and dry. And what does that mean? That means very little rainfall for some of these storms, but as we go through the period, they'll start producing more and more rainfall. Wetting rain is considered a tenth of an inch or more, and that potential really increases tonight and tomorrow. And we may actually have to worry about red flag conditions for thunderstorms as we get into Wednesday, maybe even Thursday and Friday. Not everywhere. You may just have to look and see where the things end up by the time we get to that particular point. Here's our monsoon push coming in, and here's the issue for today for thunderstorms. There's quite a bit of cloud cover to our south, and as this lifts north and east today, the clouds will overspread the area, and I think it looks like at this point the best chance of thunderstorms seeing anything other than an isolated storm or two will be over along the Wyoming border and down along the Utah border for today. That's where we have our red flag warning in effect for scattered storms. Elsewhere, we'll have isolated storms if we can get some breaks. And then as we go into tomorrow, more moisture arrives and a better chance of rain, a better chance of seeing scattered thunderstorm, maybe even a higher coverage of thunderstorms as we go into Tuesday afternoon. And you can see where our weather and impacts matrix is pointing all of this out over today and tomorrow. Today, we do have that threat of a few thunderstorms producing locally heavy rainfall. Heavier rainfall possible, especially in the mountains for tomorrow. That, like I said, we may have some localized flooding or debris flow issues on current fires or where we have recent burn scars. Going into Wednesday, that threat skims back to mainly the highland areas, especially over around Island Park, also into the central mountains. In Thursday, it looks like maybe a little better shot everywhere except for the Snake Plain. We'll have to watch this. This may be one of these days. Storms are mainly in the mountains, but the outflows may produce storms across the Snake Plain. And as we go into Friday, we're actually trimming things back even more, just mainly a few showers and thunderstorms over the highlands. We may have a little higher impact over the southeast corner down around the Bear Lake area. So looking at how things are going to progress here as we go through time, we continue with some light rain showers, a few sprinkles over the central mountains down in the Magic Valley and the South Hills. Most of this is still centered just to the west between Boise and Twin Falls. As we go through the day, you can see that moisture lifting north into the east and starting to spread east. And here where we have those breaks in the clouds, we start to see some thunderstorms developing along the Wyoming border and also picking up across portions of the South Hills and the mountains south of Twin Falls down towards Jackpot. And as you go through the evening, you can see things starting to consolidate a little bit over portions of eastern and central Idaho, especially outside of the central mountains. So we go through that period, and like I said, once we get past sunset, there'll be rain showers. There might be a few thunderstorms around as well. As we go into tomorrow, this trend will continue. And like I said, by the time we get to tomorrow afternoon, things will really start picking up across the area by noon. This is far out as we go with this particular forecast loop. Things really kicking up over the central mountains and pretty much everywhere. Scattered thunderstorms will be developing during the afternoon and evening hours. Now, going back and looking at how much precipitation we are expecting for this afternoon, some pretty light amounts, just a couple of hundreds here and there. There is that potential of maybe seeing over a tenth with few of these stronger storms, but a lot of the activity we'll see won't be producing a lot of rain. That means the higher potential for some gusty winds with those storms. As we go into this evening, that's where we start to see a little bit of chance everywhere, and a few pockets may see over a tenth of an inch of precipitation with some of these storms later on, late this afternoon, this evening. Showers continuing overnight, not much expected there, and then as well as tomorrow morning. Here's where things get interesting. It looks like, at least at this point, the focus for the best chance of seeing decent rainfall will be over the central mountains. And some of these areas could see around a tenth to a quarter of an inch, maybe just a little bit more. Elsewhere, most areas will see under a tenth of an inch. That's the most likely scenario, it looks like, at this point. And we'll show you potential maybe seeing some higher precipitation amounts. Going to tomorrow evening, things start to shift off to the north and to the east, but some areas could still see several hundredths once those storms start shifting towards the Montana and Wyoming borders for tomorrow. And we talked about seeing, hey, well, what's the potential of seeing some higher precipitation amounts? As we go into this afternoon, you'll notice that we do have that potential across some areas where we might see a little bit more than a tenth of an inch. That's mainly in the central mountains, over down towards Twin Falls and Jackpot as well. As we go into tonight, that potential is still there. We go into tomorrow, that potential really picks up, like I said, over the central mountains and some of our highland areas. That's where we're going to see the highest potential for seeing over a tenth of an inch of rain. That doesn't mean elsewhere we won't. This map is just pointing out the most likely areas that we could see over a tenth of an inch for tomorrow. Looking at areas they might see a quarter of an inch for tomorrow. Again, most likely in the central mountains up towards Monida Pass and Island Park over into Wyoming. And for maybe over a half an inch of rain, that lies over the central mountains. Expect some of these trends to change, especially as we start to see things progressing and how things develop as we go through the day into tonight. Just remember that even though it looks like the central mountains may be the best chance of seeing heavier rainfall amounts, doesn't mean it won't happen elsewhere across the area. So, like I said, it's with all this moisture coming in, it does look like we have a decent shot of seeing some measurable rainfall, hopefully not too much rainfall. We haven't seen that in quite a while here in central and eastern Idaho. And here we're seeing these temperatures. We've been pushing 90s, 100s the past 2 or 3 weeks or longer in some areas. Some places may not get above 90 today. We're going to be fairly close in a lot of areas. Stanley hitting about 80 degrees this afternoon. Mid-80s up around Chalice, also up towards Salmon, maybe closer to 90 degrees. And this could easily be swayed by cloud cover. You get a break in the cloud, and it might jump up 2 or 3 degrees. You get more cloud cover hanging around. These temperatures may be a couple of degrees too warm across the board. Going into tomorrow, not much of a change temperature-wise across the area with the cloud cover. We should see a little more break in the cloud cover overall for tomorrow. That's why we're expecting the thunderstorm coverage with the amount of moisture coming in to be a lot higher for tomorrow across the entire region. Temperatures do start picking up Wednesday, going into Thursday, and into Friday. We start warming up as we start to see the big push of monsoon moisture on its way out of here. So like I said, the moisture increases today. Our best chance of seeing showers and thunderstorms will be today and especially tomorrow. We will have to likely worry about in some spots the potential for a little bit of flash flooding or debris flow risk, especially in the mountains. And with this moisture, cooler temperatures are on our way. And like I said, the sheer amount of thunderstorm coverage we're expecting today and tomorrow, that's why we have red flags out across all of our fire areas here in central and eastern Idaho for today and tomorrow. Everyone do have a safe day, and like I said, be safe out there.